After 20 years, Pepsi unveils a new tagline in 2020. That's what I like. No, that's the tagline. That's what I like. That's the first U.S.-based tagline Pepsi has had in 20 years. I always have an opinion on company taglines because at Massolutions, we help companies create theirs using the Big Idea Advantage, our trademark system, that's based on the information we've gleaned from the Brand Analyzer, another process that we have as part of our intellectual property here at Massolutions. We take all the information we've collected to create messaging that speaks directly to our clients' target markets. And we do that through the 456 segmentation model, which is a proprietary system that we use to quickly help companies see more clearly their specific target markets with multiple variables. We've recently done this stuff for Cucamonga Valley Medical Group, which came up with Treated Like Family, and Urban Pathways, Your Way Up, to name a few. So when I saw that Pepsi unveiled its unapologetic tagline, "That's what I like," I started thinking about whether or not I like it. According to a quantitative survey conducted by Goodby Silverstein and Partners, they found that Pepsi drinkers are 3 times more likely to belt out a song at karaoke, nearly twice as likely to binge watch a show, or to clap at the end of a movie, or skip work on the first day of spring, more than twice as likely to cheer loudly at a game, even near enemy territory. That's just a bit of what we're trying to convey. Now, on a personal note, I don't drink a lot of soda, but I often like to have Pepsi with some pizza. And when I look at this, I say, well, I am probably more likely to belt out a song, and I'm definitely a binge watcher. I definitely get emotional movies. I never skip work on the first day of spring or the first day of anything, but I also tend to cheer loudly. So maybe I fit this target audience, but let's look at it broader as the large percentage of people that fit that profile. The research showed that target audience is comprised of bold individuals, and their goal was to create a tagline rooted in these truths about their customers. That's what I like is meant to speak directly to their audience's bold personalities and their zest for life and things they love. This month, they unveiled commercials that showed people doing unexpected things in public to the amusement of others. This was their way to introduce the new tagline. Again, it goes back to the nature of the tagline that's encouraging people to be unapologetically true to themselves. That's what I like is broad enough that it's giving Pepsi room to grow with their audience. I think the flexibility of the tagline is going to give the brand opportunities to get creative with their messaging and advertisements. For instance, leading up to Memorial Day weekend, the unofficial start of summer, they could possibly ask their fans what they like to do during the summer through a social media marketing campaign. They could encourage people to share a picture, video of their favorite summer activity with a Pepsi can or bottle in the frame and use a branded hashtag in the caption. The most creative image video could win a specific prize. Not only would this give them lots of user-generated content to repurpose throughout the summer, it would also play to their tagline, "That's what I like," by showcasing what their raving fans like and enjoy about summer and Pepsi. That's just one example of all kinds of ways that they can go with this "that's what I like" phrase. As I said before, the tagline has the potential to grow with Pepsi's customers and products if done correctly with repetition and engaging and influential material. But even with those possibilities, I guess you could say I'm still lukewarm on it. Part of me gets it. They did the research and put money behind it. But I also don't necessarily feel that way I did when I heard great slogans that were memorable when I heard them the first time. So I don't know if it's going to be a tagline that we remember like "Got Milk," "Have a Coke and a Smile," "Just Do It," "We Try Harder." No, that's okay because those are legendary taglines. But I'm just saying that this one, I get the logic. I think "That's what I like" could be pretty good. But on the other hand, it doesn't knock my socks off. I didn't get that immediate emotional thing like, damn, they nailed it. So I'm still not convinced "That's what I like" will be one of the ones we're talking about in 5 years. But Having been there before with a huge budget at my disposal at UPMC, I know full well that Pepsi's budget will help them overcome many marketing issues that a smaller budget wouldn't. What I mean is, I can recall at UPMC that we had such a strong budget that perfection wasn't necessary, and I always say perfect is the enemy of good, but if you made a little bit of a mistake, it wasn't devastating. If you have a company that is a medium-sized company that does $100 million in sales and annual revenue, and they have a 7% of their budget for marketing, they need to make sure that they select that target market, and each messaging campaign has to really maximize each dollar. Whereas when you're Pepsi, you have such an overwhelming budget. You have such a strong budget at your disposal. And again, just as I had at UPMC, it does mean that the money will help with repetition. And no matter the brand, it'll help their slogan become ubiquitous and well-known across their target markets when you have that bigger, stronger budget. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that this will be a great success, but it does mean that Pepsi will be able to overcome some hurdles and growing pains with their marketing because they are, first of all, starting at a much higher point with the Pepsi brand being one of the top 100 brands in the world. And number two, they have the budget behind it. Number three, they have a huge team internally and strong ad agencies and all this behind it. So the chances of anything that Pepsi or McDonald's or Nike does being a failure on a marketing standpoint is slim. To being an abysmal failure is very slim. To being just mediocre is actually even slim because of how much talent is behind it and the money that they have for it. I'll be anxious to see how they continue to push this tagline, "That's what I like," in 2020. Thanks for listening to another episode of the No BS Marketing Show, recorded from our studios in bold, beautiful downtown Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Remember, ask yourself, what's the big idea? And build your story around the answer. It's all about bold solutions, no BS.